So these right here are the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and unless you've been living under a rock for like the last 2 years and don't know what these are, then skip this video and go to something else. But I want to talk about why I feel like the Ray-Ban Metas are the king of content creation tools. Let's get into it. So I've had the Ray-Ban Metas for just about 18 months now, and I've already made a video on these, and you guys could check it out up here. But I use these things every single day. One, because they're actually my prescription glasses, and I need glasses to be able to see a lot of things, especially when I'm reading and all sorts of stuff. But I use them a lot for wedding content, and I think if you are a wedding creator, I highly recommend these Ray-Ban Meta glasses because they basically make content so easy to create that you almost forget that you're creating content. And let me explain what I mean by that. There's been plenty of times where I have gone to a wedding and I've just made a bunch of BTS content throughout the day and checked my phone maybe a couple days later and realized that I had like 120 clips of content on my phone that I could easily turn into a full behind the scenes day, individual clips of just certain shoots, or just use the footage in like a collage format if I wanted to. And that's why I think that these are the king of content right now. But let's get into a couple of the pros and then we'll talk about the cons in just a second. Pro number one is the ease of use. I think that they are incredibly easy to use. I have actually switched the button from pushing it to like hold it to take video to just tapping it, and it's made it incredibly easy. You could also use the voice command as well, like this, "Hey Meta, record." So right now it's actually recording everything that I see. You could see that I'm sitting right here at my kitchen table and you see the light and all this other stuff, and "Hey Meta, stop recording." It doesn't like to listen to you. Let's try it again. "Hey Meta, stop recording." There we go. Okay, so ease of use, super simple. There's no like, crazy, you don't need to know anything, right? You don't need to know camera gear. So if you're just getting into it and you're just making content, these things right here, especially for behind the scenes or like POV content, get the Meta glasses. Number two, the price. Now, the price is not that bad if you compare them to like regular Ray-Ban glasses. If you wanted real Ray-Ban glasses, you're looking anywhere between $150 to $200 already. So now the Meta glasses, and I'm going to fix this up here, but the Meta glasses right now, these are the Wayfarers, and I want to say they're running for about $250, maybe $300, and I'll put the actual price up here once I find it. But they have the higher models too. We'll talk about those in a second, like the Oakleys that just came out. That's a whole nother conversation. I haven't tried them, but we're gonna briefly talk about that. The Oakleys go obviously up from like, I think they're like $400 to $500. They get up there. All right, and now probably about the last pro I would say is maybe just the overall image quality. Though it's not the best image quality that you can get out there, but we're going to talk about, why, and I think how they could probably improve this. It's 1080 right out of the box, and the 1080 is good. The colors look great, especially in good lighting situations. So if you're like out, during like midday or sunset, you're going to get some great like images out of these or great videos out of these. But low light, they tend to suffer. They get a little muddy. And I feel like even when it's too bright, it's getting almost that like over cranked look where it's looking very saturated and crispy. And you kind of have to make some adjustments in post if you don't want it to look like that. What I would love to see from the Meta 2s, if they ever come out, the Meta 2s, and I hope that Ray-Ban and Meta are still working together and they're not moving straight over to Oakley, because I'm personally just not a fan of the style of glasses. I personally wear Ray-Ban glasses already, so these just kind of fit into my look already. But what I would love to see from these in the future, a longer battery life. These things do not last very long. We'll talk about that in the cons in just a second, but I want to see a longer battery life. I would love to see a higher resolution camera. And the biggest thing, which I think is such a big downfall of these glasses, is there's no horizontal recording. It's vertical only, and the vertical isn't even the correct aspect ratio for Instagram, so you're actually already kind of cropping it in. So give us one or the other. I would love to see the option of having a horizontal video and a vertical video, or maybe a horizontal video that we can then maybe crop with better resolution. Or what I would love to see is maybe give us some sort of either stereoscopic, or make one of these shoot vertical and one of these shoot horizontal, and move the tally light, because this whole side right here is just a light. That's all it does. It's just a light, so you don't, be a creeper and a weirdo and, film with people not knowing. I think that could easily have been moved maybe to the side or up to the top. Just a little light. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And I think those things would make these glasses just that much better. Now, talking about image quality and getting better image quality, obviously you can go with the Oakleys if you're into that style. They shoot about 3K, and from what I've seen, the image quality is definitely a lot better than the 1080 that you're getting out of these, though you are going to pay for it in one, style, and two, price. They're a lot more expensive. They're probably, I think, almost double the price of what these go for right now. And to be honest, I just don't think they look very good. I think that the Metas look, or the Ray-Bans look way better than the Oakleys. But that's just my personal preference and my taste. Maybe you like the Oakleys. To each their own. Now, I just want to briefly talk over the cons, and we're just going to go out real quick about the cons, because I don't want to bash these glasses. I absolutely love them. I've had them for 18 months now. I use them all the time. They've made a ton of content for me, and they're just good. They work, and these are actually my prescription glasses, so I wear them all the time. I don't want to talk bad about them because I don't want to lose them with some weird karma, but that's whatever. Battery life, we talked about it, right? So when they first came out, you were only able to film in 60-second clips. They have then changed that to where you can record up to 3 minutes. If you record up to 3 minutes, you will see a significant battery life loss on the 3 minutes. I'm telling you, and this is continuous recording, right? So at a wedding, I'll hit it, I'll let it go 3 minutes. Maybe I'm doing something else, hit it again. 45 minutes, maybe an hour is what you would get out of these things. And people have commented on my last video. Again, I'll put it up here where they called cap on it. And honestly, I'm telling you guys, 45 minutes to an hour if you're doing 3 minutes continuously. Now, I have then switched it to doing 1 minute, and I do see me getting a lot longer life out of the battery. Also, the charging case, they charge incredibly fast. So if you're using it, maybe you get that 50%, hey, your battery's at 50% or whatever, throw them on the charger, put them in your pocket, and they'll charge up probably about 10 minutes to full charge. Incredibly fast, and I think you get 5 or 6 full charges out of this. I'll correct that if I'm wrong, or you guys can do it in the comments. I don't think there's a ton of cons. I think really just the battery life and that low light kind of, muddiness is really the only cons that I've really experienced. I will say though, and Tamara, I'm sorry, I butchered your name, but she's an incredible YouTuber. You guys could check her out. She's from the UK. She made a video on these probably about a year ago when I actually was first looking at these, and one of her complaints was actually that she noticed that they're kind of front heavy and you're constantly pushing them up. And I didn't think that was going to bother me, but it has bothered me, especially if I'm doing any looking down content like this, maybe I'm doing a gear review or whatever. I am constantly pushing them up. So if you can get them a little tightened right here, get them a little adjusted, then you can kind of, get that fixed, or maybe even get, I don't know, something in the back to snug them to the back of your head or whatever.
To continue, make sure Bluetooth is connected.
So the last thing that I want to talk about is the speakers that are actually inside of these. They are really good. I love the speakers. There'll be plenty of times where I'm just sitting at my desk editing and I have these on and I'm just listening to, some music, jamming out, and my wife is in the background and she might be talking to me and I have no idea. So I have to always tell her when I have my glasses on, I'm probably playing music. I'm not ignoring you. So don't get in trouble with that, because you will if you just, you get in that zone. You can hear your surroundings, but if you're kind of locked in and you're focusing, and somebody's maybe talking to you lightly in the background, you won't be able to hear them. So if you are, let people know. Don't be rude. That's it, guys. This was a quick video. I have had these for about 18 months now. Absolutely love them. I kind of want to get another pair. I think a sunglasses pair, so I don't always have to have my prescription glasses on. We'll see what happens, guys. Ray-Ban Meta 2s. I hope they come out. I hope they fix a few things. I hope they bump up that resolution. I hope that they give us a better battery life, maybe some more storage. You know, there's only so much I think that they can do without really making these look big and bulky and, you know, just weird. But we'll see. I don't know. Technology is changing, and it'd be incredible to see what they do in the next year or two if they stick with these. But that's it, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that YouTube stuff. Thanks for rocking with me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.